What's going on, everybody? Welcome to G Miles World Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the New York Giants versus the Atlanta Falcons, Week 7, 2018 of the NFL season. And we have some good pointers that we could take from it, and we have some really bad pointers. The bad pointers is that the Giants are now 1-6, and Eli Manning is a trash can. Now, I want to go ahead and give kudos to OBJ being the fastest receiver to reach 5,000 yards. I think he just beat out Julio Jones, so that's a really, really good accomplishment. Also, he and Shepard went over 100 yards in one game, which is also historic for the Giants franchise. So they did a lot of things last night, except for winning. And that's pretty much what it always should come down to, and that's not what we got. So we're going to talk about some things that actually affected this game in a tremendous way. I know that people are going to use the excuse that, Eli Manning's O-line is just so bad, and he can't do this and he can't do that and all that good stuff. I will concede to you guys that Nate Solder is a trash can. I will concede that to you. I will concede that in some cases, the O-line just doesn't block. But I will also tell you that when he gets a perfect play call and when they do block, he does still make bad reads. And that's just being honest and just giving you guys the flat-out truth. Now, the game turned for me in the third quarter. If you guys can remember this, I want everybody that that watched the game, I want you to think back to this one play. They go for it on fourth down, okay? It's a boot. OBJ is on a linebacker. He's wide open in the flat, and Eli Manning decides to throw the ball to a 19th-string tight end. When you start to make decisions like that, and you couple that with the fact that you're already trash, that causes a lot of issues for me. And, looking at it, I'm trying to figure out a way how they're going to make it through the entirety of the season with OBJ. I mean, not with Eli Manning at quarterback. OBJ, he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to make, he'll probably get a ton of yards in some games or whatever like that. I think he's going to be a little bit more relaxed, even though they lost because his numbers were decent and he made history. But at the end of the day, I don't really see what this Giants team is going to be about this year. Now, the NFC East is disgusting. So there is a chance that if they start winning games, something might happen. But we have to be honest with ourselves. It's probably not going to happen. And they're going to get a very, very high draft pick. So overall, if you're a Giants fan, you at this point have to be figuring out that Eli Manning is going to have to be, he's not going to be there next year. I already predicted it from game one. I predicted that, Eli Manning probably wouldn't be around for next year. It's a very, very delicate situation because he's done a lot for this franchise. And I'm not forgetting that he did that. He did a lot, man. To win those Super Bowls, huge. You can't take that from him. But you still have to know that he is the luckiest quarterback to ever play the game. And I don't really care. If you just look at his numbers, right? How many quarterbacks has been able to have the stat line that Eli Manning has had and won 2 Super Bowls? Just look at history with it. It's very, very rare that anybody that has led the league in interceptions like that, multiple times and have been, just not a really good quarterback, has coupled that with 2 Super Bowl rings against arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. So, at the end of the day, Eli has done a lot for the Giants franchise. Nobody can knock that. But we also have to try to figure out now where are the Giants going for the future because they do have some good pieces. Now, OBJ obviously got his extension. He got his money, things like that. He's been fighting against heaters. He's been doing crazy things. But he is a talented receiver. Is he a receiver that I would want on my squad right now? Probably not. And that's regardless of who the quarterback is. Because you can be a good receiver and not make it be all about you. DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. These guys, the one thing that I'll tell you about Julio, when he was doing all the stuff on the Instagram post and, doing everything like that, that was in the offseason, and he was just trying to get his money. And we've never really seen him go wild on the sideline or look like sort of a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Hopkins has played with some, horrific quarterbacks, and I've never really seen him do anything like that. He just goes out there and make plays. So OBJ is way, way talented, man. The guy's a great receiver. I just think he's a bad teammate. I think Shannon Sharp said that. But I was saying that, even before Shannon Sharp said that, because just, when he's fighting the kicking net, he's doing all this stuff, it's too much stuff about you. If you want to rally your team together, you can't do an interview calling out your quarterback. Does he suck? Yeah, Eli Manning sucks, but you're still a teammate. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, it's sort of like with the Le'Veon Bell thing when the whole O-line went out against him. how is Le'Veon Bell supposed to report to camp? How is he supposed to report to the team now? Because everything, bro, when your teammates start doing stuff like that, it's pretty much over. So, looking at the future of what they're going to do as far as Eli Manning goes, I don't know which way that's going to go. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see him being in a Giants uniform much longer. So it's kind of crazy, but he showed, even with the poor offensive line play, he showed that he's just not that guy anymore. It's time to move on. Excuse me. On the other side, though, the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan, he heated up in the second half. Julio Jones has yet to get into the end zone, which is kind of wild for a lot of you guys that are, fantasy owners and things like that. But I will tell you this, right? He did go crazy in the middle of the field and just exploit the Giants defense, who, in my opinion, what happened to him? I don't know really. Usually they've been better over the last couple of years. I don't know what's been going on with it directly, but they're just not playing any defense. So all of it doesn't go to Eli Manning. And I don't want you guys to think that the score completely reflects what was actually going on within the game, because, a lot of that stuff was garbage time. Pretty much when they went up by 11 with that crazy field goal, the game was over. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You can score. It is what it is. And it seems like Eli Manning has become a master of, scoring points and putting up yards in garbage time. Okay? So with that being said, everything else that comes after that, that has nothing to do with the actual outcome of the game. Now, the Giants have the potential to be a really, really good team going forward, because they have pieces that, if, given a proper QB, they could possibly be able to, stand firm and make some noise. Even right now, with the way the NFC East is, with the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles doing what they're doing, and now we're seeing a surprise in the Redskins because AP is just running over everyone. I don't really know how that division is going to end, but I can tell you this. At 1-6, there's probably no way that the Giants are going to be able to make any noise. Now, going forward with everything that they have, at their disposal right now and what they will be able to do, I can almost assure you that they're going to have to probably bench Eli before the season's over. Because once it's out of reach, it won't make any sense. And I think that for him, they should probably give him a decent farewell. When they cut his streak and put Geno Smith in, I don't think that was the right way to handle it, because is he underperforming? Yes, but he's a very, very stoic figure in New York City. I don't think they handled it right. I don't think that they did his brother right with Jim Irsay with the Colts either, like kicking him through the back door. But what I will say is the fans and everybody there appreciates what he was able to bring to that city, so they should do it in a more reasonable fashion. They should be able to have, some decency in regards to the way that they do it. And I think that that's going to happen very soon, because ultimately they have to start looking forward to the future, knowing that he's not going to be there. All right. And there's been a lot of frustration that's been going on within that organization, within that locker room. Even the owners calling OBJ out. It's a lot of crazy things going on, but all of that stuff doesn't really matter. The biggest thing that's going on right now is that Giant fans are like, they just want to see better results. They want to see better, a better team out on the field. And it's really, really hard to watch Eli Manning play it. And I understand that a lot of it has to do with the O-line being trash and stuff like that. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that, they've done a lot better with worse O-lines. So going forward, I could tell you this. The Atlanta Falcons are now 3-4. I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs. It's possible. They could probably try to, make a run. Devontae Freeman is hurt, but we got to see how we could do it. Telvin Coleman looks like he could go out there and ball. But we're going to have to try to assess how it's going to work out. But we can all agree, Giant fans, everybody that's, watching the games, whoever, we can all agree that the Giants are not going to be making any noise in the NFC East. I just don't see them getting a turnaround and winning like 6 games straight. It just doesn't make any sense, especially with the way their schedule's set up. So we could go ahead and say that their season's over. And now it's going to be all about, just trying to go out there and do the best that you can with what's available. And just make it just be, it's his final season. It's Eli Manning's farewell season. So we can go ahead and just try to enjoy it as much as we can and remember and reminisce about what he did for the city, getting those 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady. But it's pretty much a wrapperoni with cheese as we end off week 7. And now we're starting to see that the NFL, the NFC and the AFC is shaping out. We're seeing that the Chiefs are probably the most dominant. We're seeing that the Rams on the other side is the most dominant. So there's a lot more football to be played going forward. I'm very, very interested to see how this shapes out. What if they're going to decide to just, say, look, Eli, just sit it down and, we'll do whatever we have to do after that, because it's really not good with the way that the team has been playing thus far, as we can all see. So all in all, decent game, but the Giants, this game was over even before the score looked so close at 23-20. I want to thank everybody for watching. Let me know your thoughts about the Giants, and I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.